MSI's MAG272CQR was one of the best 1440p 144Hz monitors of last year, mostly thanks to its incredible price point. And so when I heard that MSI made a second generation, an MAG272CQR, I just had to take a look. It's got a bump in specs to 165Hz, and this is not a monitor you want to miss, so do stick around. Now with that said, if you want to see more videos like this one, including AOC's 1440p VA 144 or actually 165Hz monitor, then do hit that subscribe button for more videos like this one. So let's start with what makes this monitor, quite frankly, amazing. Now it is still a VA or vertical alignment panel, it's still 1440p. Like I said, it's had a bump to 165Hz, which is always nice, but more importantly, testing with my new Time Sleuth, the input lag for this display is between 11 and 12 milliseconds, which is actually pretty decent. Coupled with its black to white response time of just 3 milliseconds, that makes this one of the best monitors for gaming right now. No matter what genre of game you're playing, it's pretty fantastic. Now because this is a VA panel, you might be worried about ghosting, and while there is a tiny bit of trailing edge ghosting in the UFO test, it's not something that I noticed while actually playing, and honestly I only really noticed it once I was looking at high-speed footage, and so for me personally, that's not a big issue. Now actually gaming on it, as you would expect with 1440p, 165Hz and FreeSync, was incredibly crisp and smooth. It's actually a really enjoyable monitor to play on. The curve doesn't really add too much for me personally, but in terms of the fact that the response time and the input lags were relatively low meant that it was a very enjoyable experience. I was actually, while playing CSGO, even against bots, I know I don't play CSGO that much, I was able to use the op to hit shots that I wouldn't necessarily be able to so consistently hit with lower refresh rate and sort of slower monitors. And so that's a big thumbs up for me. The thing that I like the most about this is that while it is geared towards the faster paced sort of type of game like FPS games, I can very easily see this being a good monitor for a load of different genres, racing games, MMOs, anything in between. So again, definitely big thumbs up there. Now what makes this display even more impressive than the relatively low input lag and response time results is its colors. It's quite insane for me to say this, but despite this being a VA panel, my Spider X and Datacolor's own software reported that it covered over, in fact, well over 100% of the sRGB spectrum, and possibly more importantly, 93% of the DCI-P3 spectrum. Like, that is literally the level of Gigabyte's 8027QD or the new FI27Q, which covers 95% of the DCI-P3 spectrum, but that's an IPS display. This is VA. That is incredible for this type of panel, and specifically this price point as well. Now, it isn't perfect. The biggest downside to this is the viewing angles, especially side to side. The brightness drop off is pretty incredible. I'm sitting at a very sort of tight angle here, and I can barely see anything that's going on the display, whereas I can see in the camera's viewfinder that since you're a bit more square on, you can see a lot more. Now that's not a massive problem, as this is, primarily a gaming monitor, and so you're going to be sitting straight in front of it most of the time, but especially since the stand doesn't offer any swivel or rotation to be able to do minor adjustments to it, you'll have to move the whole monitor, so it is a slight bit of a downside. Now while we're talking about the stand, it does have a good amount of height adjust as well as a good amount of tilt as well, so you can adjust it to if you want to use it on a standing desk or just whatever height you're at. And while it doesn't have any swivel, it also doesn't have any portrait mode rotation, although honestly I'm not sure why you'd want that on this kind of display. I should mention that the base of the stand takes up a pretty large footprint. The rear legs protrude quite away from the back of the sort of main arm of the stand, and so you can't sit it flush against a wall, which can be a bit annoying, but the front legs are more like spokes, they're pretty thin, and so it's not too obtrusive on a desk. Inputs wise, you have a DisplayPort as well as 2 HDMIs and a headphone jack and a USB 3 hub, which is plenty for, say, a PC on DisplayPort, as well as maybe 2 consoles on those HDMIs. I should mention though, if you're planning on picking this up specifically as a console gaming monitor, I wouldn't really recommend it. As far as I'm aware, neither of the current generation consoles support 1440p natively, and they certainly don't support 1440p high refresh rates, and so if that's specifically what you're after, I wouldn't go with this one. Now, taking a quick look at the back, you still do have that RGB strip, because of course you do, it's a gaming product in 2020, but it's still a fairly subtle design, especially from the front. There's no major distractions while you're gaming to take you out of the immersive experience, and so that's always good. Now, here's the real kicker. This monitor is the same price as the last one, £400 or dollars depending on where you are, and for that kind of money, this is an incredible value. You get an incredibly responsive and smooth gaming experience that's very crisp thanks to its 1440p. Sure, the viewing angles aren't great, but it's a gaming monitor, doesn't really matter too much, and you get impressive colors that you could actually use this for light photo or video editing, 3D modeling for example. So if you did say work from home and wanted a second display, you know, to game on and maybe use for your work, then this could be a fantastic option, and it doesn't break the bank too. Now with that said, those are my thoughts, and I would love to hear yours in the comments down below. What do you think of the MAG272CQR? Is it something you pick up yourself? Is it the sort of perfect monitor? Is it too expensive for you? Is the lack of viewing angles, you know, a deal breaker? Anything at all, let me know in those comments down below. And like I said at the start, if you want to see more videos like this one every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, do hit that subscribe button with the bell notification icon. If you want to check out the MAG272CQR, I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. That will be an Amazon affiliate link that will take you to your local Amazon store where you can see pricing when and where you watch this, because it can and does vary. You can also check out the rest of the links in the description if you want to support the channel in more ways than just watching these videos. Stuff like Amazon and Overclocked UK affiliate links that don't cost you anything to use, but massively help me out when you use them. Or merch for hoodies or t-shirts like this one. This is the premium hoodie and it's incredibly soft. Highly recommend you check it out. And there's also Patreon if you want to get cool rewards and support me directly, or a load of other stuff down there too. Otherwise, feel free to check out some more reviews, including the 1440p sort of monitor reviews that I've done in the past. And that is pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and we'll see you all in the next video.